Alright, this is the second weather briefing. I'm Scott Colbacchini. This weather briefing is done in the late afternoon of Wednesday, July 11th. So, looking here at the big picture, the surface analysis chart of the country for this time during the day, the 18 Zulu time. We can see that there's a cold front moving through the cool front really moving through the eastern part of North Dakota, and then I got a warm front ahead of that, so we can expect with that cold front moving through, had some pretty strong winds as we did earlier today and this morning. Winds up in above the 20 knot range. That's warm front turns into a stationary front through Kentucky and North Carolina, Virginia area with that low pressure system, and some troughs in the southeastern United States, some low pressures in the southwestern United States. Overall, not too much going on, no big low pressure systems or high pressure systems over the contiguous United States, so it shouldn't be too much weather. Looking at the satellite, we can see some clouds popping up in northeastern Minnesota, out over the mountains and in the desert, also some clouds up there. Over Louisiana, has some clouds over there, and over Florida with the expected afternoon clouds this time of year over Florida. You can kind of see if you're looking over eastern North Dakota, the curve of that cold front moving through, pushing those clouds up through that way. So now as we look at this chart, we can see that we have, this is the precipitation chart, or the water vapor chart I should say. Not too much over Minnesota, over Louisiana we got some, and over Florida just the afternoon thunderstorms. Over North Dakota, not too much really going on. And then as we move into the infrared chart, we can see over Minnesota, none of that stuff gets up really high in the atmosphere, so we know it's not too severe. One little cell over the north of Grand Forks, and then all over the desert, that's pretty high. We can expect that over that dry area in Florida. We're getting up into that blue, so it's colder in the top range, so we know those are a little more intense. Looking at freezing levels for if we're going to be flying through those clouds on the flight, you can see it's a really hot day today, so the freezing level is pretty high up all throughout the country. Over North Dakota, between 15,000 and 17,000 feet. In Nebraska area, we're having over 17,000 feet. So shouldn't really have to worry about freezing today unless you're getting up into the flight levels. The radar, not too much going on in the national scale over Louisiana. Just some smaller pop-up storms out over here. Florida, we got some small pop-up storms. And then looking at the METARs now, getting more into a local area. Over Grand Forks right now, showing clear skies, 75, dew point 71, winds pretty much straight from the south. At about 10 knots. Same up in Grafton, it's actually reading Grafton for the temperature. Grand Forks temperature 72, dew point 71. We can see it's pretty standard for the area. Devil's Lake has some overcast, so it's pretty high, 6,500 feet. And down in Jamestown, 6,000. So over the western United States, or western North Dakota, excuse me, we're getting some clouds over there. But we're in Grand Forks area, pretty clear skies, as we can see. Then looking at the radar locally, again, as we talk about that one small cell north of Grand Forks, remember looking at that infrared chart, we're able to see that it went pretty high up, so we do know that is a natural cell there, and we can see some red in it. So definitely trying to avoid that if we're flying that way. Out west of us, not really anything going on over there, so that overcast is most likely just clouds if you were looking just based off that radar. Out east over Minnesota, where we have those clouds, we're starting to see the tail end of those storms that were popped up over there. Alright, now looking at the PIREPs for the area, we do have one PIREP for light rime icing at 16,500 feet, temperature -2, so about where that freezing level is, 16,500, about where we expected it to be, so it confirms that. So knowing you are going to be flying up over those clouds in Minnesota, that high of an altitude, you have to worry about some light icing, probably not too much. Not going to get too much heavier than that over that area today. Another PIREP for a similar reason out over eastern North Dakota, higher up at 24,000 feet. Alright, now looking here, we can see out for the 12th, Thursday the 12th through 6 Zulu. We can see over Minnesota, we got ceilings between 1 to 3,000 feet and visibility 3 to 5 miles, so we're expecting marginal VFR there. And then same as we get out later in the day in the 12th, it's just moving east with that jet stream pushing it. We can see the freezing level here staying up above about 16,000 feet over North Dakota. So if you're not flying over 16,000 feet, you won't have to worry about icing. But if you do get up there, remember that PIREP said there is some light prime icing up there that you would have to look out for. Out over Florida, also some more marginal VFR over North Carolina and Virginia. Some of that marginal VFR 1 to 3,000 foot ceilings, visibility 3 to 5 miles. No real IFR today or in tomorrow looks like, or no real severe turbulence going on also over the country. Maybe up on the western part of the United States, there's a line of red there. It could just be for some fog. Now looking at our thunderstorm probability, again over Minnesota, remember we had those clouds over there with that front going through, and that PIREP up there, because there are actually clouds over there, so there's actually a slight chance of thunderstorm development, a marginal chance over for the Grand Forks area. We're on the very edge of that, so there actually is a chance for us to get some thunderstorms coming up later in the day. The rest of the United States south of us, not much until we get back into like the southeast United States. Texas, Oklahoma, Colorado area also has a chance of getting thunderstorms throughout the day. Looking at the SIGMETs, again over in the Minnesota area, we can see this just confirms what we were looking at. There should be some thunderstorms over there. That one cell north of us has a SIGMET around it. Looks like it's moving to the east, northeast at about 40 knots. We can see it's moving pretty fast, all the way up to 45,000 feet, which, if you remember earlier, looking at the infrared chart, did confirm that it is up that high. So definitely won't want to be flying through that cell, and just understand flying through northern Minnesota, you have a chance of thunderstorms popping up. Flying back southeast of the United States, there's a bunch of small cells that we're looking at the radar up there that you'd have to be flying around, all going up to about 45,000 feet. And same over the western United States. We expect that's probably about where the tropopause is. So won't really be able to fly over those thunderstorms, have to most likely fly around them. So be prepared to do that during your flight. Looking at the METARs, or I'm sorry, the TAFs in the area. Grand Forks TAF not showing too much. Past 6 miles, ceiling is broken all the way up at 12,000 feet. Light winds, same thing goes for the Fargo TAF. Now getting Bemidji TAF. Remember the Bemidji one, that's where those, Minnesota had that higher chance of thunderstorms, the overcast clouds. We actually see that in the TAF from 12th at 1 to 12 at 3 Zulu, so later in the night. Overcast 3,000, cumulonimbus, and thunderstorms and rain. 4 miles of visibility, so you can expect some thunderstorms out in the area over there. Devil's Lake reporting good weather. Also 8 knots of wind and broken all the way up at 12,000. One's a loft chart looking Grand Forks, light winds from going to the northeast, 20 knots. Is at 6,000 feet, and looking out in the future, switching more to a easterly, southeasterly, again at 10 knots.